Hi, welcome to Physical Science 1.3, Comparing Two Objects. Today we're going to look at some concrete notes on constant and accelerated motion, qualitatively. Every time you do a comparison between two objects, you have to analyze both objects individually. This is the necessary information you're going to need. One is a qualitative interpretation of each object. So you're going to either copy or create the XT graph from a table, identify the starting position of each object, the ending position of each object, the direction of each object. Notice I'm also giving you what those possible answers could be. Starting position is either 0 or positive. Ending is either 0 or positive. Direction is 0 or negative. Then you're going to draw a VT graph. Now this VT graph is going to have two lines on it. You're going to identify the starting velocity, either 0, high or low, positive or negative. The ending velocity, again 0, high or low, positive or negative. Then you're going to draw that AT graph. Okay, and again, it will have two lines on it. Be sure you color code. That's going to be very important. I do have colored pencils, crayons, and highlighters for you to use. You're also going to identify what each object is doing, speeding up, slowing down, or staying at a constant speed. Finally, if you're given actual data, you're going to identify where they meet. But remember, where includes a relative location. So it's not okay to say, well, they meet at 35 meters. You need to say they meet at 35 meters from the origin. Okay? So let's do a description. Write a description, include the necessary information about the graph, then do a quantitative analysis when you're given scales. Only when you're given scales do you identify where they would meet. All right, so in the following examples, object A is red and object B is blue, and I've given you a copy of the examples so that you can fill in these as notes, okay? So A is the red line here, and B is the blue line here. And we're going to do one object at a time. So A has a starting position that is positive, right? Right there. Its ending position is also positive. It has no direction. Its starting velocity was 0 because you got out your handy-dandy slope-o-meter and the slope of your pencil was 0. Its ending velocity was also 0, so this object is standing still. Object B has a starting position at 0. Ending position was positive, so it's moving in a positive direction. Its starting velocity was positive, ending velocity was the same positive, so this is going at a constant speed. Because we don't have a scale, we're just doing this qualitatively, so we don't worry about where they intersect other than saying right there. This one, object A and object B. Okay, A is red and B is blue. Object A had a starting position that was positive, ending position was 0, and direction was negative. Starting velocity was negative, ending velocity was the same negative, and it's going at a constant speed. Object B, starting position was positive, ending position was even more positive, direction was positive, starting velocity was positive, ending velocity was positive, and this is going at a constant speed. Number 3, A started at a positive position, ended at 0, went in a negative direction. Had a starting velocity that was negative, ending velocity was the same negative, it's going at a constant speed. Object B started at a low positive, ended at a higher positive, direction was positive, starting velocity was positive, ending velocity was the same positive, and it's going at a constant speed. All right, object A is red. Remember, started at a positive position, ended at 0, direction was negative. Started at a negative velocity, ended at the same negative velocity, going at a constant speed. Object B is the blue one. Started at a high positive position, ended at 0, went in a negative direction. It started at a velocity of 0 and ended at a velocity that was negative. This object is speeding up. A is the red, right? Started at a positive position, ended at 0, went in a negative direction. Started at a negative velocity, ended at the same negative velocity, and is going at a constant speed. B, the blue one, started at a 0 position, ended at a positive position, went in a positive direction. Started at a velocity of 0, ended at a positive velocity, is speeding up. And finally, number 6. Object A started at a positive position, ended at 0, and went in a negative direction. Starting velocity was 0, ending velocity was negative. This object is speeding up. Object B started position was 0, end position was positive, direction was positive. Starting velocity was 0, ending velocity was positive. This object is also speeding up. We will include the VT and AT graphs as part of your notes during class. So if you miss those, be sure you get them from someone. All right, thanks for watching.